Hi there everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long while, but it's good to be back making a new video. So the topic for today is post-discard baiting. What the narcissist does to reel you back into their drama and chaos. And recently I have been through this myself with a toxic person in my life. So I thought it would be a good time to share some points with you, points that happen very often. I've got 5. There may be more, and if there are more points, please share them here below the video. But this is what I've experienced of late, so wanted to share them with you. So the post-discard baiting. This, it's slightly different from baiting during the interaction and relationship with the narcissist. And I'll probably make a video on that topic another time. But today it's really about the post-discard. And you see what happens when whether you discard the narcissist or whether they discard you, at some point they're going to want to regain control of the situation, of the relationship, of your emotions, and this is usually done when they don't have new supply. And I have often heard, even if they do have new supply in their life, whether it is by way of a spouse, of a new partner, of their audience, maybe mutual friends and family, even if they do have that extra supply, they are going to revert back to you being their main supply. So just a couple of points again. I'd like to add probably some, tactics or strategies that you can use to keep them outside the door, outside of your life, and outside of your mental and emotional space. So the first one, again, this happened to me recently. There was a long period of silence, and then suddenly, out of the blue, there's a reach out. So they reach out with something vague. Something like, hey, I was at the beach and it made me think of you. It just doesn't make any sense, given the context of the breakup. So they can reach out that way, or just some other vague text that they may send you, or email, or just ring you up and say something vague. And it is always with a hidden agenda. All baiting tactics through the narcissist have a hidden agenda, because with them it's all about them, and it's all about them controlling every single aspect of your life. They never control theirs. They are always out of control when it comes to them and when it comes to their life. So this sudden reach out disguised as innocent contact, because this is what often happens. It seems, for an outsider reading a text message that you get from the narcissist, it seems very innocent, it seems very friendly, it seems respectful, but that is just for the outsider. Because with you, it triggers something within your system, a feeling. Your emotions get triggered by a seemingly innocent text. And this is them trying to hook into your emotions so that you will break the no contact rule, the no contact boundary. So whatever they say, I mean, again, using the example of I'm at the beach and I thought about you, it's trying to bring up old feelings. Maybe you had a great experience with them at the beach. You had a lot of fun at the beach, or whatever it may be, or just the simple fact that you love the beach. So they will use this to play on your emotions and to get you to break the no contact boundary. The second point is provoking you through social media. So they may be that they are posting cryptic messages, flaunting their new supply, or sharing these amazing quotes that only someone with introspection would place. So by doing this, they are trying to show the outside world that they are very much capable of introspection. But you know, as the target, that it has nothing to do with introspection and all about wanting to trigger your emotions again, whether it's to evoke anger or guilt, maybe even curiosity. They will use social media to get to you. This is also one of the reasons why I say block them, if at all possible. And I do realize that sometimes the interactions with narcissists cannot be fully blocked because of children involved, because of some other reason, whatever it may be. But if there are really no ties at all, block them on every single platform. Your phone, your email, your WhatsApp, and on social media. Just totally block them, because this is what outsiders don't get, is that whatever small message, big message a narcissist sends you, it is always going to trigger the remembrance of old patterns within you. Hence the panic or the fear that you feel, or nervousness, anxiety. It's going to trigger all of that because your body recognizes the old patterns from when you were in the relationship, and what the narcissist did, what strategies and tactics that they used to get your emotional system all wound up. So provoking through social media is a very common one. The third one are that they use the flying monkeys as bait carriers. So you may bump into mutual friends or family who will ask about you, or they will supposedly accidentally relay a message to you, whether it's asking how you are, whether it's telling you something about the narcissist, whatever it may be. The narcissist has set this up in such a way that they know that whatever they have relayed to mutual friends or family or acquaintances, that this message is going to somehow surface back to you. And again, this is baiting through a third party, through the flying monkeys. Again, it is to trigger your emotions, to see if they can get some form of response from you, whether it's defending yourself, whether it's saying that story that the narcissist told you is simply not true, it's a whole bunch of lies, so you're trying to rectify the story. So whichever way you respond, this is going to get back to the narcissist. And then they know that they still have an effect on you. An emotional response always has an effect on the narcissist. This is the fuel that they may be getting less of through other parties, but getting the full amount from you if you fall for that bait. So just to circle back to the title of this video, this is baiting. And when you have stepped out of that relationship, whether you've been discarded or not, hopefully you have been discarded. And I know it's painful in the beginning, but it is a gift. Once they have discarded you, it is a gift, because then you experience true peace, true tranquility, no more chaos, no more drama. But to get back to the point, because I digress here, is that they always have a reason for telling people certain things about you, the flying monkeys, especially when they know it's going to circle back to you. And the best way to deal with this specific baiting tactic, or any for that matter, is simply not to respond. You can grey rock them, you can give them the silent treatment, whereas in this case, you giving the silent treatment is not to punish them, even though they may perceive it that way, but it is to maintain your peace of mind. That's what the silent treatment from the target's point of view is all about. It's not about being nasty or mean, it's about having clarity. So I know how difficult it is to not react when a smear campaign has been launched against you, because it's always filled with lies, so many untruths. And so it's very difficult. It is a challenge not to respond. But again, I just want to stress the fact that responding gives the narcissist fuel. So practice the art of remaining silent, because silence gives no one anything. Silence keeps people in the loop of confusion, if you will, where they're wondering if the story is true. They're wondering if you're going to retaliate so that they can take the message back to the narcissist. This is what everyone's holding their breath to see what you are going to do. And again, the best response, I know because this has worked for me, the best response is absolute silence or businesslike and very cold responses. That is the way to deal with these kinds of baiting tactics. And when I say businesslike or cold, in my experience, the long text messages were sent to me and they were riddled with baiting tactics. Seemingly, again, for outsiders, because I shared some of the messages with a friend and she said, oh, it sounds very friendly and sounds respectful. But I knew that reading between the lines, there was bait. There was bait all over the place, trying to see, what are you going to do? Are you going to respond to me? And if you respond emotionally, then I've got you again. I've got my tentacles in you and I have got control of the situation again. Again, I'm digressing. That was the third point. The fourth point, the fourth one is they will fake, the narcissist will fake false emergencies. So either they will text you about them being depressed, that they're struggling financially or otherwise, that they have a health issue. Whatever it may be, it is all false emergency. 9 times out of 10. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule where maybe they are sick or maybe they are struggling. But then again, that is not your problem to solve. It's not your task. When you've been discarded or the narcissist has, or you have discarded the narcissist, it is not your task anymore to pamper them, to give them peace of mind, to give them fuel. It is not your task. So this also plays into where oftentimes I've heard, yes, but if it's a parent, for example, yes, but my parent is elderly or my parent is sick, they need my help. And I know how painful that can be, where you as the adult child of a narcissistic parent want to show goodwill. You, because of your compassion and your empathy, you want to help them out, but you are also, of course, fearful, and rightly so, that they are baiting you back into the relationship, that you are going to be hurt again emotionally, mentally, and that it then gives you a sense of starting all over again with regards to your healing process. But again, this is not your job. It has never been your job to pamper the narcissist, to make them feel good about themselves. So the false emergency is really to manipulate you, manipulate your empathy so that they can get their hooks back into you, that they can get that door open again back into your life. It's all done from strategy. And this is one of the reasons why there can be weeks, sometimes even months of silence from the narcissist. And then you think, oh, thank goodness, I'm finally rid of them. And then suddenly, just out of the blue, they're going to resurface to see if they can regain control in your life. It's all about pulling you back into their chaos and drama, because that's what a narcissist thrives on, is a whole lot of chaos and a whole lot of drama. And if anything, when you have broken away from the narcissist, all that you want is to wallow in peace, in joy, in tranquility, in clarity. And this is something that the narcissist cannot stand. They don't want you to be peaceful. They don't want you to have a normal, quiet life, or a life that is filled with joy or happiness. They don't want this for you. Because you're dealing with someone who on the outside shows a lot of bravado, shows a lot of confidence. But that is all an illusion. It's all just a mask. because underneath all of that bravado is a very fragile ego. And they need you as their primary source of supply to help maintain their ego, to keep it where they feel that they are in control of everything. And in closing, I have a fifth point, which is the triangulation tactics. So talking about how happy they are with their new supply, however that new supply shows up, through way of a relationship or a new friend or whatever it may be. I know even sometimes that narcissistic parents will then go about adopting an adult son or daughter, and by adopting I mean being very close with them all of a sudden, taking pictures with them to post on their social media. So this could be them as well, flaunting their new supply, showing you how happy they are, and also telling other people how toxic you are. And in the narcissist's mind, your toxicity is when you have set boundaries, when you've chosen you above them, when you've chosen your peace above their chaos, when you've chosen your happiness above their unhappiness. This is when they call you the toxic one. And this is the story that they're going to relay to anyone who's willing to listen to their stories of woe, their stories of being the victim. So again, this baiting tactic, is about hoping that you're going to defend yourself or re-engage them in conversation, which again gives them control in your life. This is all the narcissist wants. They want to manipulate. They want to control you. They don't want to take responsibility, but they do want to have a say in every single aspect of your life. So by you engaging, if you fall for that bait, if you take the bait and you re-engage them, they will use whatever response you've given to exploit you. And again, this has to do with any emotional reaction or response that you give, is that they're going to exploit this. They're going to hold this against you because it's fuel to them. And it proves that they still can affect you, that they are still in control. So all these baiting tactics, it is up to you, the target of abuse, the survivor of abuse, to implement these strategies. The first one, I'm a huge fan of this first one, which is silence. Because your silence speaks volumes. When you give them silence, they have no idea they have no hooks. They have no hooks in you, because with silence, they don't know what you're planning to do next, what your strategy is, whether you are frustrated by the response, whether you're planning something else. They are clueless. So silence really is very powerful because it gives them nothing. And if there's nothing, then of course there's nothing to go on. So I would say silence is the best way to go. But if you feel that you have to respond to their texts, which 9 times out of 10 you don't, because all of their text messages are not to find out how you are doing, are not to ask after you, are not to check on you. All of their messages are about me. This is the narcissist. It's all about me, me, me. So what can I get from you? What can you give me so that I can feel better about myself? Don't fall for it. But if you have to respond, then I would say always give very cold answers, very business-like answers, and very short answers. So for example, oh my goodness, over the last couple of months, I've received so many messages from this toxic person that I had to deal with. One of them was, can you leave? I don't know, I'm coming to pick up something. I will be there at such and such a time. I really need this thing. So please open the door. And I would just respond with not available at that time. That's it. So not suggesting another time that I am available or another day that I'm available. No, not available at that time. Period. That is a very cold response, and it doesn't give them any room to wiggle. So if you would go about explaining why you're not available at that time, they could use your explanations as wiggle room so that they can use this against you again at a later date. So very cold, very businesslike. Businesslike is the best, because with a businesslike response, there are no emotions involved. If you write the message correctly, there are no emotions involved, so nothing to give them. And this is what a narcissist hates. They cannot stand not being in control. When you don't give emotion, they have no control. Or, again, read the message, leave it unread, don't respond. This sends them into a tailspin. Because again, it makes them guess, what are you planning? What are they going to do? What is their next response going to be? So you keep them guessing, which I love. Okay, so maybe I'm a bit sadistic in that respect, but my peace of mind, my quiet is so valuable to me that I will use this strategy to keep them out of my life, to keep my peace at bay, to keep my peace protected. I will use the strategy. And yes, I do enjoy it, because it shows the narcissist that I am in control, that you are in control if you choose to respond in the same fashion, businesslike and cold. And the narcissist needs to know that they cannot re-enter your life under their terms and conditions. You get to state those terms and conditions. So by setting a boundary, even if it is a silent response, that is a boundary that you're setting. And you're telling the narcissist, in effect, you get to see me, if that's what you wish, on my terms and my conditions, not on yours. It frustrates them to no end. So just a couple of tips. Remember, or not tips, these are strategies. They are self-care strategies. No response and cold and businesslike responses. Those are self-care strategies. So keep that in mind. You are not here to, again, you're not here to pamper them. You're not here to make them feel good about yourselves. When you have been in any kind of narcissistic dynamic, the most important thing when coming out of that is to prioritize yourself. Put your happiness as a priority, your peace of mind as a priority. And it's up to you to nurture those great boundaries. Nurture them for you. You're not being mean. You are just having clarity for yourself. And this is what they can't stand. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and thank you for tuning in and watching again. See you all very soon. Love to all of you.